They say time breaks all things. I have lived long enough to see that only memory breaks slower. I sit now, far from the roar of battle, not a general, not a threat, not even a citizen of my own homeland. Just a man with a name too heavy for exile and a past too vast for silence. They've written songs of my victories. They whisper my name as if it were thunder. But here, there is no applause. No fanfare. Just the sound of waves. And footsteps that are only mine. I was not born for quiet. My blood is Barcid, descended from fire, from oaths, from an ancient hatred carved into the stones of Carthage. From childhood, I was taught one thing: Rome must fall. And for a time, I believed I could make it so. I crossed the Alps not as a conqueror, but as a storm. 40,000 men. Dozens of elephants. Frostbitten hands, bleeding feet, bones lost beneath the snow. We buried our dead in the ice, and still we marched. I saw the fear in their eyes, the Romans. The ones who thought themselves invincible. At Cannae, we did what no one had done before. We drowned their pride in their own blood. 70,000 fell. A slaughter so perfect it was studied for centuries. And yet, they stood back up. Rome always stands back up. I brought fear to the gates of Rome. But I never entered them. And maybe that was the first sign that even gods bleed when they reach too far. They say I should have marched on the city. That I hesitated. That I feared. But they forget what it is to be human among legends. Rome was not a city then. It was an idea. And ideas do not burn easily. I waited for reinforcements that never came. I pleaded with Carthage, but the Senate feared me more than they feared our enemies. They feared my victories, my growing shadow. And so, they left me to fade. Years passed. Battles passed. And then came Zama. It was not just a battlefield, it was the final breath of a dream. Scipio stood across from me, young, bold, and strangely calm. I saw in him what I once saw in myself. He did not beat me with numbers. He beat me with Rome. They had learned. Adapted. They had turned my own tactics against me. And for the first time, I felt what they had felt at Cannae, helplessness. The elephants ran wild. My center broke. And the dust of North Africa tasted like defeat. That day, I lost more than an army. I lost the right to believe I could change the world. They called me a monster, a barbarian. But tell me, was it barbarism to fight for freedom? To fight an empire that consumed all it touched? Carthage was not perfect. But it was mine. And they burned it, years after I was gone. Salted its soil. Erased its name. They feared not the city. They feared what it remembered. They say history is written by the victors. But even victors fear names like mine. I did not burn Rome. But I shook it. And for a moment, the eternal city trembled. Perhaps that was enough. They will remember Scipio. They will praise the Republic. But in every shadow cast by Rome's monuments, there is the shape of my defiance. I was never meant to die in chains. So I chose the silence of poison over the noise of their trials. If I must fall, I will fall on my terms. Not theirs. Let them carve their statues. Let them build their roads. I will not be among them. But I will echo. They feared me not because I hated them, but because I saw them clearly. Because I dared to believe that Rome was not destiny. That one man, born beyond its borders, could shape the world. Was I wrong? Maybe. But tell me this. What empire is ever built without dreamers? And what dreamer ever lives to see his dream fulfilled? My name was Hannibal. I was the nightmare of an empire. And though I did not win, I was never conquered. Remember that.